I was gasping pretty good, I think.
We dropped our rucks a couple times.
Yeah.
Get moving over.
But we got confused. Where to go?
Get it up!
Don't try. Because we went to the table and then he told us to leave, but we thought he meant back to the water. So we went back to the water and then back to the table. He meant over here. So.
Yeah. That eventually came to the right spot, so it worked out well.
Once you get over there, de-rig and drink water.
Students were given a choice of small boulders from which to select their class rock. Specialist Cesar Sanchez came up with the winner.
As a sapper, you look for the heavy stuff. You're not a weak person. A sapper, an engineer, you look for the tough stuff. So everybody started looking for the small rock and stuff, so I look for the heavy one, because we sappers, and sappers carry the heavy stuff, right? That's just the way it goes.
Sappers lead the way.
I didn't get it. I got it.
Are you milling about just simply to look busy? What's going on at this point?
Since 2004, graduates of the Sapper Leader School have been authorized to wear a Sapper uniform tab on their left shoulder, like the Ranger and Special Forces tabs.
In the engineer world, it shows quite a bit. It's equivalent to a Ranger tab in the infantry. It's something that separates you, showing they don't exceed the training standards.
The tab is so prized, soldiers are willing to go through the demanding 28-day course more than once to earn it.
My job is a sapper, and I mean, I'm a team leader back at Fort Rich, so I mean, it wouldn't look good for me to go back without it.
As an engineer, this is it. This is all I ever wanted to do, and now I'm here, and I didn't make it the first time. That's why I couldn't go back to my company without a tab.
The term sapper is an old one. It goes back to the 14 and 1500s. Dr. Larry Roberts is chief historian for the engineer school.
The sapper is actually a siege warfare term. Goes back to the days of the invading army laying siege to the castle or the fortress or whatnot. In the process of doing that, you would dig approach trenches to get up next to the wall. Those approach trenches were called saps, and the people who dug them were called sappers.
The Engineer Museum at Fort Leonard Wood houses dioramas and displays depicting the history of American military engineers. At the Battle of Yorktown, where the British surrender clinched America's independence, a company of miners and sappers worked on field fortifications and joined the key assault as infantrymen. The American Civil War engineers built roads, bridges, and fortifications, and played a famous role in the siege of Petersburg, Virginia. They tunneled under Confederate lines, dug out a chamber, and filled it with gunpowder. The ensuing explosion created a huge crater.
And ultimately, a good section of the Confederate line disappeared.
World War I saw an evolution of the role of all combat engineers. The sapper became a key figure.
The person we see as that individual going forward to breach the wire, to create the gap so the infantry can move forward. That person was really born on the battlefields of World War I because of the elaborate trench systems and things like that.
On World War II's pivotal D-Day, combat engineers were among the first to land.
Because it was their chore to blow gaps in the beach obstacles that would allow the landing craft to come in and discharge the infantry troops. So they had a monumental role, and they took monumental casualties.
In World War II, the combat engineer also encountered a new responsibility, the landmine.
That becomes a huge, huge role in World War II. And that role will carry forward into Korea and to an extent even Vietnam.
And in Vietnam, there was a new threat to contend with, tunnel systems where guerrillas could hide and store weapons. The term sapper came back into use in the Corps of Engineers after Vietnam.
I think the reason why it reemerged is we had a lot of senior leaders in the regiment who had time in Vietnam. The most dangerous person on the battlefield in Vietnam was the NVA or VC sapper. He could come through the wire without you knowing it. He could blow up your hooch or your bunker without you knowing it.
Knowledge and use of explosives have long been central to the Sappers' mission. That remains true today.
Claymore. Let me see the components.
Claymore.
But at the Sapper Leader course, students are being taught a broader skill set than ever before.
You know, when we're talking about airborne operations, waterborne operations, mountaineering operations, pathfinder operations, and just the culmination and the marriage of each one of those skills in one person. And so we're talking a very diversified individual that's, you know, honed to a sharp point and ready to go out there to the cutting edge of battle.
You got like 5 minutes to square this doggone patrol away, or we'll blow you out of here and we'll start it off again. Roger?
Yes, sir.
You on the clock.
Day 3 of the Sapper Leader course's field training exercise, a long-range patrol through a rugged stretch of the Ozark Mountains. It's a grueling 4-day ordeal with little food or sleep. It's also the student final exam, and it must be passed if they're to earn a Sapper tab.
I'm gonna tell y'all what, it's on you. You're writing your own grade today. You might want to be squared away today, all of you. We have to enforce the standard as NCOs here, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now there's different ways that you can do it. I just have my ways of doing it. Some people are softer and gentler. I'm kind of not that way. Hey, platoon song. Say pop. That's your head popping out your ass right now. You need to square this away, like right now.
Platoon and squad leadership positions are rotated through the 46 students in this class. It's the students' job to execute a series of missions. Operations plans must be prepared and issued.
Okay, enemy situation. The Darien and rebel forces are positioning supplies and equipment for planned attacks on U.S. forces.
And I'll start going towards the vantage points which I chose.
It's the instructor's job, called a walker during the patrol, to stand back, observe, evaluate, and keep the pressure on.
And then I wouldn't probably sit on my ass. I would probably get up here and checking on security.
They're exposed to obstacles and all types of different tasks here that build that confidence in leadership.